All right, hello, welcome to this video. Thanks so much for tuning in, sharing in this now moment with myself and with one another. If you haven't seen these videos before, welcome back if you have. My intention is unity and oneness and the highest levels of love light. I'm just gonna go into a little light language and see kind of where this goes. So, happy everything. Yaoea stawa kuana te ao kua he ne te ai este ao hana ku okunua te. Ya te au este ao kuna e ao mokua e ahe. Ya te au este no et ua he. Ya au nuk ua he sta mua tea. Koe te unu e te au handis te unua te oa unu. Ia nau e te stea e uk una het e amokunua. Ia te stea ua ak ua he kua e stea e uk una. And we all hold within us the sound, the frequency, the expression, the o steo e te makua. Tu e steo kuno e te steo e waru e te makua no e te au stena. Ia te au kuna te au waha e nasta te au kunua. Ia au waho no ua te au kuana. And we bridge together the higher, the lower, the dense, the light. In divine matrimony, we match that which it is we value most. For as we create this bridge, as we come together in unification, as we create our grid, our higher capacity, our higher grid, gradient, rainbow, we create a volume. I'm seeing so much of a luminous essence, a volume that is beyond, that is surpassing other barriers, is what I'm seeing. It's surpassing this barrier of sound, barrier of light, the speed of light. For we are combining the frequencies at such speed, there is no comparison. For as we understand that as we come together, as we sing our songs, our own frequency bandwidths play in the band, we play in the symphony. We then counter the I'm hearing disharmony. It's like unharmonious, like almost like it was uncreation, but now we're creating, we're balancing all of that out. as we allow ourselves to scale up, if you will, as we allow ourselves to create the macronations, if you will. I'm seeing macrame, I'm seeing micro to macro, I'm seeing the ashtawa te kuno te aoe te shtawa kuno te ishtek uno te umukue te kiao ashtawa te no kueti shtiayat eanaha awa kuate shtikini. For we speak of sound economics. We speak of soundonomics. Yes, the key scalar components, if you will. Yet the words that we use are merely reflections of that which has been confused in some scopes. There are deeper machinations. There are deeper sounds that you are reflecting, that you are recognizing, that you are hearing within your own bandwidth, that you are attuning to, if you will. We have broken the barrier of sound, so to speak. For there never was a barrier, yet there was, and we have leaked through, if you will. I'm also seeing this reference to Mach, like a Mach speed. I'm seeing that there was this Mach barrier that was set up, and we have broken through it. And it is in reference to the cracking of the egg as well, that many of us have seen reference to over the course of the last several months. Like it's a crack and we've come through at light speed, but light speed isn't the correct economics is what I'm hearing. It's actually, again, the mathematics have been misinterpreted. Just going with the flow here, guys. For language is that which reflects a certain harmonic and harmonious exchange, an undercurrent, if you will, that allows the currency, again, the value, economics. I'm hearing economics, mic, like the microphone. Drop the mic. Let us play with this. Let us splice these words together. Let us come together in a deeper, sorry guys, I have a really, I'm not able, even my video is behind. It's like slower than what I'm able to speak right now. It's kind of frozen in different sections. Allow us to splice together the harmonics to create. So I don't really know much about music other than what I read about, and I'm seeing like the machine that you use to, like what a record producer will use to change the sounds, to mix, like a mixologist. For the undercurrents have broken the time barrier, broken the speed barrier, broken the light barrier, broken the sound barrier. For we are recognizing that which we are has no barriers or boundaries. The sound effects that we are creating are beyond the effects. I'm hearing cause and effect boundaries that were once created and established for the beginning of this world, the beginning of this creative essence. For in the beginning was the word, sound. What we are tapping into, the devices that we are tapping into, the devising, the has released this vice-like grip that we once held, for our reality has cracked. Our reality is not meant to be put back together. We are not meant to go back to where we were before. I'm also seeing this as a huge reference to, I hear a lot of people, when is it going to go back to normal? And I felt like this too, but it's like, it can't. Humpty Dumpty can't be put back together again in the same way that it once was. Yet at the same time, we are going back to what was before it was broken. so to speak. Yet none of this has broken. It is merely cracked apart so that it can be yoked back together. So I'm seeing the reference of the yoking. I'm actually going to unplug this. Wondering if that's maybe slowing it down a bit. Like the yoke needed to come out so that it could re-encompass itself, so it could reabsorb this deeper knowing that was held within a particular barrier. So if you picture an egg cracking open and then becoming the shape of a flower and then folding in on itself, basically the toroidal donut, a strange loop, right? The cosmic egg. And I also have been having this reference to the fact that our universe is expanding, and I've talked about this before, and it's expanding at this rate of speed that people or scientists are saying on the mainstream science, well, it's broken. Something's wrong. It shouldn't be going this fast. Or is it just that we don't have the ability to keep up with the speed of sound, so to speak? Like we've broken that barrier, and now it's just like, all right, we're in it. So before there was, I'm having this reference to the Truman story. My sisters and my dream group have talked about this. And the Truman story, you know, if you've never seen that movie, it's a great movie to kind of give us an idea of what our reality was kind of like. It isn't like that anymore. Although there's a residual echo, which I've also spoken about, that still is lingering, okay? But we're hearing this echo, yet that is from the past. So everything that we're seeing is a reflection of that echo currently. Yet at the same time, what I'm seeing is that we're also seeing the now moment. So the more we can stay in flow and the more we can allow that which it is that we know innately to come through, to yoke us back together with the truth of the light that we are, of the sound that we are connected to, the Earth Mother's womb, the womb of creation, that which we have within our view, I'm hearing a counterintelligence. So it's like there's been a lot that has been dropped into our world that is counterintelligence. It's not intuitive because it was meant to be played with from a non-organic perspective. But now we're going back to the organic. I'm hearing the organism, the orgasmic, the ergonomic, the agonomics, the economics, you know, playing with all of this and recognizing where did these words come from. And so it's all about sound harmonics right now, and always. So if we can get back to that deep inner drum, that deep inner beat of the heart, the deep inner spiral, the coil that is coming up from within. And I'm seeing the coils, I'm seeing it like a furnace, a heater, rocket fuel, the inner coiling, the serpent, the spiral, the serpent and the egg. Anyways, I'm going off on a tangent here. Let me get back to my streamline efficiency. Coil. By the way, I'm inviting everybody. I am playing with the sound as I do this. Because when I tap into the sound, whenever I'm doing the work that I do, whether it's working with someone or just listening to the universe or writing out messages that I'm receiving, the sound that is behind the sound is the message I'm always guided to listen to feel into the fabric of where this comes from, where it pulls from. What is it pulling out of? Again, the yoke, right? The golden yoke, the golden frequency, the golden harmonics, the harp, the harmonics. For we are finally recognizing that the speed in which we are growing is far surpassing the speed in which we have been towing, so to speak. We have been tapping our toes, wondering when the next everything is going to show up for us. And in reality, we have been towing the line. Many of us have been towing the line. Many of us have had much toe tapping in the last few months, the last few years, perhaps even what we view as our entire life. Yet everything is different. Hear the cheers. from the universe for the scale and the size and the harmonious convergence that we have now placed ourselves into is that which is beyond the scope of many human understanding or capacity for full acceptance. And full acceptance is truly what it's all about, accepting the fullness of your own capacity for expansion, understanding, growth, compassion, bliss, love, emotion, the full scale, the full schematics, if you will. Allow all of the colors to harmonize in your own frequency pattern, for you are you are the map of the cosmos. You are the mappers, the weavers, the architects, the builders, and all that is. For as we come together, we map out the new, harmonious, harmonic convergence, if you will, for we are in true unionship with our mothership. Earth, right? As you sing your own songs, your own sounds, your own frequency, you break through the barriers that you have kept yourself in. You let go of the lines that you have been towing. I'm seeing a reference back to the cords and the baggage, which I've been talking a lot about. The baggage is merely particles and I'm hearing loose change, things that you have been hanging on to that perhaps you've wanted to change or hadn't recognized or felt the need to cover up with, to hide your own light. For many have been fearful of the creations that they have the potential for bringing forward. For the past history has not been well written, so to speak, or well received in many circumstances. That was all a play on words, but true at the same time. So I was seeing like circumstances, like I was seeing a circumference on a circle, the stances that people have been taken within their own circa, certain circas, eras that many of us have lived in before. I'm seeing I could go back and write this down and take that into so many different layers. For this is a multidimensional, a multifaceted sharing. Whenever these words are shared, it is the sound behind the sound. There is a vibration and a harmony that speaks to many on very different levels. For some will just hear the point blank references to the 3D or 4D linear exchange of information. And this is fair. This is balanced, so to speak. This allows for a simplicity in scope and understanding. Yet we go deeper in the layers, which means we expand out in our volume, in a voluminous capacity for sharing and deeper learning. For we are each learning that which we are capable of, or should we refer back to remembering our own luminosity, our own luminescence, our our triluminescence, our infinite diversity. Our patterns that we play with are beyond the scope of a linear comparison. Yet in these transmissions, there are many different scopes which are being tapped into. Many different access points are being remembered, are being introduced. And much of the words that are being used in this transmission are codes. These codes are recognized at a cellular level, a layering, if you will, of harmonic interplay, an interwoven circuitry, circumference, dichotomy. I'm seeing geometry. I'm seeing circles. I'm seeing circuitry. We invite you to allow yourself to light up your own circuitry. Play with the words that you are using. Play with the sounds that you are drawn to. Play with all that is in your reality. For that which you play with, you play in, you then allow yourself to play through. I'm seeing this as a reference to the more playful you are, the easier it becomes, and the easier it is to play through the game and come out on the other side, so to speak, taking with you that which increases your capacity for higher knowledge, bliss, learning, experiential freedom. For that, in that which we allow ourselves to experience becomes a deeper penetration, if you will, into, I'm seeing that as another huge play on words, but it's like penetrating deeper into the layers, into the levels. It's like I'm hearing shot through the heart, like, ooh, that got my heart, that pulled at my heartstrings. Oh, wow, I feel more open. I feel different. It penetrates deep into the layers because a lot of people, from what I'm being shown, have created that bubble around themselves. They've been wounded, so to speak, from past circumstances, circas, eras, even in this lifetime, from relationships, from interactions with people, from jobs, whatever it might be. But if we can clip those cords and tie up the loose ends and reconnect through oneness and unification with playfulness and love and forgiveness and acceptance and I think this is a bigger word. It's like interferometry, but circumferometry. I gotta write this one down apparently. I'm being guided to share my own experience here and how even in this sharing, in this transmission, I have my own judgments that go on in here. And I'm being guided to share from a laughter perspective. I still, and I share this all the time when I'm working with others who think that what they're doing doesn't make sense, or they think that they're not where they need to be, and I see what they're doing and I share it from a different angle. Let's say, look at it from this angle or look at it from that angle. My point is, I still kind of go, I can't believe I'm singing weird tones in between talking, and I'm recognizing that the words I'm using to some are all over the place. I had one of the Dear Starseeds, Josh, thank you for mentioning to me, yeah, some of the work that you share, it sounds a little like bipolar. I think so. He used a couple different words, but meaning split into different angles. And he said it sounded kind of all over the place. He goes, but I got it. And I'm not making fun of that because that is how some people operate. Everybody has their different way of tapping into things. Some people are ADD. Some people do have that schism. Some people are very linear. We all have a different way that we function at our best in reality. And the reason I'm sharing this is there's no judgment. And even as humans, we may have judgments about ourselves. But bottom line is, we're sharing this in our own way. So I'm going back to the way that I'm speaking. I even will go, I can't believe I'm going to share this video right now. It's all over the place. But then inevitably I'll have people that reach out and go, oh, that really helped me somehow. And I just have to trust and be in a place of acceptance, even though I sound crazy sometimes. What is crazy, really? You know what I mean? Like, how does this compare to normal? Because there is no normal. And I'm going back to the beginning of this video. The new way of working is a multi-dimensional, right? Bilocation, trilocation. Our dreams sometimes we're having a difficulty, and I'm being guided to talk about that a little bit too, pulling our reality, our dreams into our reality and differentiating between the two. And that's where if you do have some type of chemical if you are struggling keeping a balance on things, it's really important to anchor, embody, and ground. Connect with the earth, do what you need to do, talk to a doctor, talk to a counselor, or do something that helps you to balance it out. It might be by creating beautiful artwork. It might be toning and singing and allowing whatever strange noises want to just come through so that they can be expressed and then cleared. There is no linear right or wrong way to do this. And when I say do this, what is doing this? Living life. We are all finding our own song, and that can shift and that can change from moment to moment. And finding balance is going to be in our own way. So I'm sharing that because I think it's important for people from my perspective, to recognize that there is no, this is the way it's done anymore. This is how the process should work. First you'll have this happen, and then you'll have this happen, and then it's different for everyone as we go through this awakening, ascension, whatever we want to label it as, living life. Because we are the living light codes. We are the walking embodiment. Now I'm being guided to talk a little bit about people who are really struggling because they just had this immense activation happen in the last few weeks especially. It can be very physically challenging and draining. It isn't always sunshine and rainbows. However, again, if you can find a way to stabilize by honoring your body, by staying in a creative space, by drinking plenty of fluids, by allowing yourself the ability to do what feels stabilizing. It might mean eating dark chocolate. It might mean eating a lot of root vegetables, or getting outside and gardening, or creating an indoor garden with hydroponic lights so that you are able to literally work hands-on. This brings it into here now, tangible, physical, right? I'm getting goosebumps on that. So apparently this is something that a lot of people might need right now. I'm also being guided to share that physical interaction that people haven't been experiencing much of because of everything that's going on in the world play. A lot of people haven't been having as much physical interaction, shaking hands, hugging. All of that has kind of also made it more challenging for people. So it's important to be even more, hug your family. If you're feeling comfortable and you live with someone, don't be afraid to hold somebody's hand, to have that physical embodiment connection, because that's something else that has been kind of more and more people have strayed away from, that physical contact, because of, again, what we're seeing playing out, right? Which I don't really talk about much anymore because of our connection to electronics. So just keeping that in mind, I'm just kind of going all over the place here because that's how this works, right? For those that do have certain chemical, I don't even want to use the word imbalances, because sometimes it does require, some people require something that somebody else may not require. Some people have chemical things that are triggered because of a lot of the activations that are going on with the sun, with the earth, with an interaction with another starseed or light worker. It can trigger these memories to flood the senses, and it can make us feel off balance, literally, where we think, uh-oh, I better see my cardiologist. I better see a psychiatrist. And it's follow through. There's no right or wrong there from my perspective. Go to a medical doctor if that is something that you feel like you need to do so that you can follow all your checks and balances. I did. I'm just sharing my own personal experience because I'm recognizing that's where a lot of people are at right now. And then when you go to the medical doctor and the doctor says, well, this may be what's going on, maybe get a second opinion. It doesn't always have to be the one. I'm sharing this because it's important for people to understand right now. I talk to people all the time who are having physical upgrades and their doctors told them nothing is wrong with them. So I'm going to jump to that. Not in that particular case, when you've had those second opinions, for me, I had 3 different opinions. I went to neurologist, I went to several medical doctors, I had an MRI, I had a CAT scan, I had all kinds of crazy things done because I really thought, oh no, I'm going, see ya. And then when I was told that maybe you should just see a therapist, I realized, oh, okay. I get it. I see what's going on. And I've talked to hundreds of people who are in the same boat. So do your due diligence. If you're getting triggered by everything that's going on, talk to someone. It's okay. But on the flip side, recognize that some of the things that we've been told